the implementation of New World Messiah. And so it's even now, the United Nations is working under this New Age alien agenda. The same one the Lord put me in 6-7 years ago. The one I've griped about so often every once in a while to him. Am I really have to be in this one? Everybody thinks I'm a nutcase. You talk about Nasara and people think you're a nutcase. When the whole thing with Leo Wanta first came out about his billions that the bankers were supposedly holding against him, not releasing him his money, I said back then, Leo Wanta is nothing but a front for this New Age alien agenda. And sure enough, that's exactly what it's came out that he is. And you better believe when that money is released and he has access to it, this whole New Age agenda is going to spring forward. And what they're doing is getting things ready for the implementation of our New World Messiah. And so who's coming as the Messiah? We have the Islams, the Muslims waiting for Maitreya. We have Christianity waiting for Jesus. We have the Hindus waiting for Buddha. And so they're going to accommodate all these religions. Satan's got generals standing in the wings, waiting to come in and fulfill the role of Maitreya, waiting to fulfill the role of Jesus. Also this Hare Krishna and all these different religions waiting for their messiahs. But that's where we are right now. And so right now, in the interim, you have this New World Order, which is supposed to end systems the way they are now in America and in Great Britain and every country of the world. They end the systems, merge them into this New World Order as kind of an intermediary to get ready for the next step, which is the one world religion and the one world government. And so what you got the United Nations doing is creating an international army, an international police force, a World Bank, a world government, which is under the United Nations. And if you look at my website, thewatcherfiles.com, where I found this picture of the ancient Atlantis and how the council used to be in Atlantis. And you see this round table of these heads on it. It's exactly what you're going to see in the United Nations when Satan rules the world. God, that was interesting that I found that thing on Atlantis. I don't remember where I got that. Might have been from Rich Vizuti's site, stargods.org, stargods.org. They plan on having a World Conservatory Bank for wilderness preservation around the world. A new world religion where all church doctrines will be destroyed at the roots to be replaced by the new world religion of the age of Aquarius. And of course you have John Hagee and Pat Robertson and all those Satan prophets working to destroy the foundation of Christianity even now as we speak, denying that Jesus, Yahushua, even came as the Messiah. They're chiseling away at the foundation of Christianity so that people would become more accepting to the huge changes that are coming when they decided to get rid of it altogether. The World 7 Race Classification for all human slaves who will fulfill predetermined work tasks, whether they agree with it or not. The World Concentration Headquarters at the United Nations for those who will not accept the new system. And what that is the World Termination Headquarters at the United Nations, because they clearly plan on killing anyone who doesn't agree with them. And the World Agriculture and Food Supply Control, which will control food and vitamin supplies around the world. And so they're going to have control of the money, they're going to have control of the land, they're going to have control of the food, control of the religion. You're going to live in police states. You have an international police force, international army. So just imagine America. I mean, we've already been a melting pot generation since the time we were conceived as a nation. Just imagine that when all the UN troops start coming over here. You start having Russians and Germans, people that probably can't even speak English, in our police forces, also serving as army personnel. And so that's what we have coming, folks. I want to talk about the 7 classes of people. And it's the world 7 races classification. Well, they talked about it in this article because I thought it was really interesting. It's the first time I've seen it. And the 7 classes, all who resist, they have a coming initiation, a Luciferian initiation into the New World Order. And so obviously there's no Christian who could swear, give allegiance to this New World Order, whatever they call it, Satan's not going to show up with two horns on his head and tell the world to worship him, folks. He's going to do it very cleverly. He's just going to say, if you want to join in this New World Order, you have to get the chip, because we're not going to do cash transactions anymore. It's going to be all chip-oriented. I imagine they're going to be very subtle and sneaky about it. They call it the Luciferian Initiation. And so all who resist this initiation will be sent to detention facilities where they will be separated into different categories known as the Rainbow Classification of the New World Order prisoners. And so just imagine if you refuse to go along with this chipping and this worshipping of the beast, going along with the new system, this New World Order, they're going to arrest your family. This will be a time America hits martial law. They're going to arrest your family, and then they're going to separate you according to these different classifications. You better believe that once they've got handcuffs on your arms, one is you're never going to be free again, and two is you're never going to see your kids again or your family. And so that's something to think about when you've got these Chinese and German and Russian and everybody else, tanks and trucks coming towards your towns, your neighborhoods, to arrest resistors of the New World Order. Because if you don't fight to stay alive, you're dead anyway. Listen to these 7 classifications they have for you once they do get you handcuffed and get you to one of these detention facilities. Their first class is classification of Christian children, as planned, is to be as human sacrifices within the black mass ceremonies. They will be forced to participate in any kind of sexual orgies or be kept as sexual slaves. And so if you are a Christian family, that's exactly what they're planning to do to your children. They're going to force them to participate in sexual orgies and serve as sexual slaves. There's also a classification of prisoners to be used in medical experiments where drugs and new technologies will be tested on humans. And so you're going to be a guinea pig. If you're in a second classification, you're going to be a guinea pig for medical experiments and drugs. And also where they can test new technologies, which basically means crossbreeding. So you're either going to become a crossbreeding puppet or a puppet for a guinea pig for medical experiments and new drugs. The third classification is for healthy prisoners, and they're going to be used for the International Organ Donation Center, where vital organs will be removed one by one while they are kept alive by mechanical devices. And so what they plan on doing is hooking you up to oxygen machines, life-saving machines, and one by one just taking out your organs as needed. And that's if you're classified as healthy. And so for those of you, the majority that aren't healthy, that's I bet you're glad now not to be healthy. And that's what they plan on doing to healthy prisoners, hooking them up to machines, artificially keeping them alive so that they can harvest their organs. The fourth classification is a classification of all healthy underground workers. The New World Order is basically a worldwide dictatorship based upon the Luciferian religion. And so in order to maintain the illusion of democracy, camps and slave labor will be hidden underground in massive colonies that are being built as we write this report. And as these two are writing this, I'm sure they're referring to Denver Airport, because I've heard from several people, read several things online about how, they've got this huge base underneath the new Denver Airport. And a lot of people, I'm hearing stories of electricians and people that worked on the base had seen children working as slave laborers.